Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Commodity Futures Report for Monday, November the 21st, starting with the 10-year government yields here. We're looking for that as a possible top here. The move that we have down here so far, it could be construed as an A wave, a B wave and a C wave at this point. So I'd need to see a larger five-way move here. So I need a, well, just five waves really, because from here we got 1, 2, 3, 4 here. So I need to see five waves coming down here to be able to call it, a move down at that point. So anyway, we'll just wait to see how that cookie crumbles. But as far as the way forward that we've been talking about, it seems to be sort of edging lower. It's just not confirming that it's five waves yet. So we'll just wait for that. And in terms of the US dollar index, if I just scroll back up to the top, I won't look at the bigger picture, but basically from this top here, we've been counting five waves down for 1, and then 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave. So we're in the fourth wave here at the moment. Now, our target is the wave 4, 1 lesser degree, or the 38.2% retracement level, which is a little bit higher. So we can see that moving up there. I'm not quite sure. I mean, if I had to count this here, I'd still count it as wave A here and B here, and probably 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and then going up for 5 a bit further up here. Obviously, folks are going to question the overlapping wave structure at that point. But look, I'll just see how this plays out here a little bit. There won't be much further to go at this point. Could it be bullish and move up here further? That's a bit of a question. I don't think so, because we've got that 1, 2, 3 here, nice strong long third wave. Sometimes when you get a very powerful third wave, you can actually get a 50% retracement level in wave 4, so we'll take that on board. But no, I think we'll just I won't change anything at this particular point. We'll just let this play out up here for that. But when that does turn to the downside, I mean, obviously while this is pushing up here, we'll see gold push down, we'll see the indices struggle and all those sort of things. But I think it's nearly finished. Might take a good few hours or whatever, but I think at the very later stages of that of that rally. Over to the gold market. So we haven't looked at Barrick for a while. So with Barrick Gold here, ABX, we'll look at US spot in a moment. So I just wanted to talk about this a little bit, and it's kind of interesting, this top here too, because this top here with that sort of spike here, you can see how that sort of belongs to the third wave here, and then we had the fourth wave, and we could probably look at this as, I don't know if it's which is the highest at this point, but definitely belongs to this third wave here. And then also it's slightly, maybe even truncated a little bit, this last little structure here, but it would be logical to put this here. And this sort of brings me up when we have a look at copper next, because this is the same thing copper is doing, and it was a little bit confusing because I was putting like a B wave here, but it wouldn't make sense down here. So I'm going to put, for copper, I'm going to put the B wave over here for this. Now I just want to talk about this down here again as well. So it's all, we've got five waves here for 1 and 2 and 1 and 2, a nice strong third wave, fourth. We could look at this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Also a little bit of overlap there, but I can handle that. And then we could put, well, I could put wave 4 here to be in one way. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit. And this is the same as US spot gold, by the way. So we could look at this as an A wave up here, an A, B and C wave for the B wave, and up for the C wave here. That's why we're looking for, anything beyond. I haven't counted this here, but any sort of move up here further would be, I mean, we've got US spot gold coming into, this is just US spot gold here. We've been counting up here as a wave 4 as well, and looking at it as 1 and 2, and then going up as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third wave, looking for the fourth wave at 38.2%. So it's nearly there now. As that US dollar tops out in its wave 4, then we should see this turn to the upside here as well. And we'll get those 5 waves to the upside. And anything above these 5 waves here, then we can actually start to look at this as a bigger structure to the upside at this point. And that's why I wanted to bring this over here. It's possible to have one more push up here as the same as US spot gold, and then put that wave 4 on top there. But any sort of move above that, then we'll have to look at a bullish move coming in for gold. Okay, so Newcrest Mining, which is a big mining company in Australia, for gold, where is it? Newcrest Mining. So we're looking at it doing a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here for this to finish off. So once anything above that will turn long as well. So the same with Barrick Gold. So I'm toying with a low in here, but I need to move past it. I mean, I can look at I could put wave 4 here and be done with it, and look at wave 5 low in here and call this wave 1 and all that sort of stuff. It looks like 5 waves there anyway, so we could put that there. But anyway, just letting you know that I'm looking at both sides of it, so we won't miss much if we're going to miss something. So we'll just see how it tests supply at higher zones here for this. It looks like it's sort of basing a little bit, doesn't it? But anyway, we'll see. We'll get to it. If we're patient, it will come to us. If we rush it, well, then we'll pay the price. So that's that. We're looking for gold to come down a bit further. That does look a little bit impulsive down here, but it's also a little bit scruffy up here. So look, the top may be in here already, but let's just see. I think I've done all the counting right. Looks okay. We'll just see. We'll see that US dollar turn. But yeah, just to let you know that if it's going to move away, I don't know which is the low here, whichever this is here. This, I think that. I mean, we just didn't get 5 waves here, so if there was going to be a low in here, I'd have to put wave 5 over here in some way. I just don't know how to do it at this stage, but that's how it would be. It'd be pretty rough and ready. Yeah, so anyway, just shooting the breeze a little bit. Let's just be aware of, mindful of both sides of the market at all times. So let's just see how that plays out. And the same with silver as well. But with silver, I could, last time we spoke, I could go the A wave, then an A, B, C for the B wave, and then I could count. I could count 5 waves up to this top here. I know that I could also push wave 3 up here and leave wave 4 here, because I could go something like wave 1 here. I mean, this is all of wave 1 here, of course, but wave 1 here, 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. So I could put wave 5 over here and put wave 3 here, just based on that alone there. But that would leave me, if I took that as wave 2, then I'm sort of at the 38.2% retracement level here already, but it's starting to see that I'm getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down here. So it's starting to look bearish down here, unless I look at that as 1 and 2 in here. 1 and 2, and all of this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. I'll play that game. I'll just go there for that. But I'm just letting you know that yeah, I mean, I can see this can be counted differently, but in different ways. But we'll just allow. I can't move on this until we have to. The gold market's much bigger, so we need to confirm the gold market before we can confirm the silver market. We're not seeing anything out of the the ordinary with all of this. There, silver's just tagging along quite sort of nicely. We just need to see how it plays out a little bit. I mean if we are getting 5 waves down here, we may get we'll just see how that. Another bullish way to look at it is just looking at it in terms of, well, that should be the support area there for that, because we would need to look at this here as wave 1 to the upside and wave 2 here at this point. And then we'll get an ABC at this point. So we'll get an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here. And that means that we could go long at that point. Look, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me because of this at the moment. But, you got to put on your trader hat. If this is an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down here and that B wave gets breached, we need to be long. We need to be long at that point. I mean, especially if it comes all the way down here, because the 38.2% retracement level is here. So maybe we can squeeze 5 waves out of this. But otherwise, you know, on track, I think we'll be coming down here further. And the other thing that sort of supports us coming down here further, well, this here, you know, I mean, you could look at it bullish, but it's better off being viewed as corrective. But the other thing is the other base metals. So when we're looking at the base metals here, so when we were looking at Barrick Gold just for a moment ago, I mean, copper and gold have got a relationship together. So, you know, when, I mean, normally you just look at the top here, wouldn't you, for this, you know, but I just don't, because of this 1, 2, 3 here, it just looks better, you know, because we either go 1, 2, 3, 4, take that overlap here and a long move down for 5, and then we look up for 1 here and ABC for 2 here, and then try to work this here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 in here, and look at this as a wave. If I took, I'd have to take it from here, so I'm way below the 38.2% retracement level for a wave 4 here anyway. So it's looking more bearish, this market, and it makes me think of when we looked at Barrick Gold. I'll just go back a little bit. Barrick Gold here. That's why I wanted to point this out. This top here, we can quite clearly see this is part of a third wave here, and then it drops back, and then it's up here, because it's doing all the this is doing all the same things in its own way. So this top here is very similar to this top here, and it wasn't like, you know, the thing is, I like to follow the volume, the traffic on things. So when I see sort of this here, this is the main, you know, thoroughfare here, so I can see that this is a bit spiky, this particular market. So that spike out there, I mean, I just kind of not ignore them, I'm aware of them, but I understand it's part of its behavior. And if you understand someone's, or because some, you know, behavior of whatever, then you know, you can be aware of these things. So anyway, look, I'm taking a bit of liberty here on this and calling that top in as B and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. But I do think that we can come down here further, because I'm going to put gold back and then drop it out of the way, is because of well, not so much, yeah, we'll get to lithium in a moment, we'll get to uranium in a moment, nickel. Yeah, so nickel was one of them. So this is 100 ticks here, right? And this is like 1 day here. But all of this move here and this move coming down here, nickel's doing much the same, coming down here. So nickel's background is a bit different as well in all of this, so that makes it a bit trickier. So I've labelled it wave A here with a B here, and then looking for 5 waves down for wave C here for this. So it does appear at the, I mean, you know, I've tried to look at this as a bullish move, and it could be a bullish move, because I know that with these commodities, they can have really weird 1s and 2s starting them off, you know. So I'm aware that, you know, we could have viewed this as wave 1 here, which we did. I mean, first of all, I had it corrective, and I've put it back as corrective because of the size of this correction compared to this here. And then it's a bit hard to, you know, we can look at this as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 here, and we can also look at this as 1 and 2. But if we look at this as 1 and 2, because that's the only positive way to look at it, in one foul swoop, it's already created 5 waves down here. So you can label this a little bit differently, but whichever way you go, it fits better as an impulse wave. So it's more likely that this is wave 1 here, and that this is wave 2 here for this. So I think that, you know, last time we spoke, we were coming down, looking for a low. It did drop a little bit lower, but, you know, I think that we're looking for an ABC and then further downside at this point. Now, I could be wrong, but we will look for short trades over here for this. We won't trade the long wave because up here because of those 5 waves here. And so this move down through here is much the same as copper here, and that's why I think gold can do the same as well in all of that. So I think that it's difficult to count this as 5 waves up from this point, and you would have to, you know, because the only other way to do this is a triangle pattern with, you know, an A wave, B wave, C wave, D wave, and E wave in here, and as an A wave here, B wave here, and a C wave up here. So we'll see how this kicks back. I'm not interested in calling a trade on the long side of this because this also looks impulsive here as well. So I think that we'll end up down here for this, with copper, and nickel's the same pattern here. Gold's not far behind, silver's not far behind, and that means that we need to look at so that's nickel here, so that can go back up to 28k here. This is a CFD, so its prices a little bit differently, but basically back up into that 28 here, close to it. There's group 2 there, 2650 and 2720 there. But anyway, well, as this moves, you know, we viewed it coming down. I felt that it would, you know, move back up and give us that. So we're on our way here. So we could look for a short trade over this side, which would be a nice trend trade because this leg here should be longer than this leg. So we'll do that on we do the videos here, the commodities every second day, so Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays. So on Wednesday we'll have a look at this and try to find a short trade setup at that point. That's part of crude oil. So I want to go back to uranium here. So I think that uranium and lithium can have another leg to the downside here as well. So somebody pointed out to me that this can be counted at with a WXY, and I've had a look at that, and I thought that was a better count than I had, so we'll go with that. But the important point here is that we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up here. So normally if this was, you know, I would like to label that wave 1, but I can't do that because if this was wave 1 up here, just going to remove that chunky wave 3. If this was wave 1 here, then wave 2 would be simple and sharp coming back. But now, I mean, it could be here, it could be, you know, the low could be here, and I've got wave 1 here and 2 here. But if the 20 here becomes from the bottom to the top, that's the 50-60% retracement level. It's okay for the market to pop its nose down below the level, but if it locks under the level, like with, you know, like gets locked under there in something like this, it goes through and tests it and then starts to drop again, then that's retested resistance, and that means that we're going to come down here further at this point. And that means that we will need to look at this a little bit differently. So that means that we could look at it in we could look at this in 5 waves coming down. So we'd have to, I mean, first of all, you could just have this here as a WXY here. That would also suit here, and then look at this as wave 1 and 2 here. So that works. But if the rest of them are going to come down, then this is likely to come down as well. So that means that we would have to move this over to here, this to here, this to here, and then look at this from here as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave down for wave Y here. I mean, we could also go WXY and make it even more complicated, but so yeah, let's just see how that floats here, because if the other commodities are going to drop, then this is going to drop as well. And this one here has got a habit of following, well, not following lithium, but so just this is yes, lithium here. This particular ETF here is not really a good representation of lithium, this global X lithium, because I did a bit of research on that, and I don't know where I did it. That's uranium. Where did I put that? Let me just search for it. Lithium lit, that one. Because you see how it's an ETF, but you see how it's got lithium and battery tech ETF. Well, it's kind of, yeah, so it's more techy. It's got Samsung in it and Panasonic and a few of those people. Let me just have a look. I've got it on the weekly chart here, maybe somewhere. Where are we here? Get my head together. No, it's not there. I did put it on there somewhere. I think I'm losing the plot. Let me think about this for a second. Anyway, my point being is that this particular ETF, I don't think is a good representation of lithium. That's what I'm thinking, because it's got Samsung in it, and Samsung does anything from, is battery, does a lot of batteries, doesn't it? So from phones to tanks, into military. So it's got a lot of other stuff in there. There's only 2 lithium stocks in here that really represent anything. So if I can just go to ASX stocks for a moment. It's got the Chilean ETF here, but this has also got other things in it as well. It's got a lot of lithium, but it's got other stuff in it. And it's also got this company here, which is a lithium company as well on the New York market. Now, so when you look at this lithium stock here, you can see that it's got a few other things in it as well. Just getting to know them, really. I don't know them all that well. But you can see that it's trending up. It has dropped off here a little bit. So I think that, ACDC here, that's an Australian lithium company. So, but that's an ETF as well. But an ETF in Australia. So I'm seeing lithium, still moving up. It has sold off here, but I'm just keeping an eye on it. I don't think that, my point being is that this particular market, this ETF here, LIT, L-I-T, I don't think it's a good representative of the lithium market as such, you know what I mean? So anyway, besides that, it's also dropped quite sharply here. And this move up here, I've never really been able to figure out if it's corrective or impulsive, this move down here is also a bit tricky to work out. We've looked on a 1-tick chart. I'm looking at it on a daily chart now, but it's got this sort of the shadow of a 5-wave move down here, and this could be corrective or impulsive here. So I'll just see how it goes, but it does look impulsive down this side, so it will probably bounce back again. So it's possible that this leg that we get here is we're going to have over here for this. And we're already in wave 1 and 2 here, and we can go down for wave 3, 4 and 5 into this box here. Still counting this up as 5 waves up the top here. So we'd look at this here as wave 1 up here and wave 2 here. So I think that, so it could affect lithium as well. I think that all the commodities could come down, but I really want to confirm the US dollar index at this stage as well, because I won't go back into the dollar right now, but there is another move to the downside. But so I need to understand the bigger picture of that, because if this is going to go down here, then it's likely that the US dollar is going to push back up while this is happening down here. No, that won't go away. Oh well, we'll move on. So yeah, so uranium much the same as well. Let's just see if uranium hangs around that 20 a little bit more. If it finds it as resistance, then I will be correct in it coming down lower here. So let's see if that becomes the resistance at this point. I'm not sure. There we go. So over to crude oil, and with crude oil here, this is we normally have a look at the ETF, and sometimes we look at ExxonMobil here. And in a nutshell, we've made a new high here, but we haven't finished up here in 5 waves. So we're still bullish on this particular stock. But the thing is that I'm wondering if we're going to top in here at this point. I know it's a very short wave 5 here. You would think that looking at wave 1 and 2 and 3 here, then you would think this would just be wave 1 here and 2 here and 3 and 4 and 5 coming up here and finishing off. And that may be the case, but I just want to, you know, make a note that another move lower than this point, and we will be coming back for wave 2 at that point as wave 1 and 2 here. So that will be the same for the XLE, the ETF on these, and the mobile ExxonMobil, you know, is one of the heavier hitters in that ETF. So it does appear that we may have a top in play, because it hasn't really given me 3 waves down. It's really given me 5 waves down. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So an ABC back up here, and then a move down here further for this. So we don't, if the 110 becomes the retested resistance, then we'll be coming down further. So you wouldn't just short that low there. You would want to do it like this. It would come through here and then go back up. So you'd find that low and then short it under the second low here, you know, under that low, that type of thing, you know. We don't do the breakouts in these things, because that's a bit of a mug's game. So yeah, so anyway, that could have a top in play there for that. And then we need to look at crude oil. So with crude oil here, you know, I was trying to be positive with it in terms of looking at it as wave 1 here and wave 2 to back here. And we can even go an A wave, a B wave all the way over here, and a C wave down here that we were talking about last time we spoke. And we were just counting off a few little waves down here for this, and still not finished. And wave 3 doesn't count very nicely in here as well, so there's a bit of an issue with that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. In here it doesn't count very well. I think I've got the wrong count in here, but the penny hasn't dropped of what it is for me just yet. I need to ponder that, but I still know it's not finished at this point. But even if it comes down again here, then it's going to breach this low here. So that means that we'll need to look straight away. What I need to do is look at all of this here, this move up here as a wave 4, and then look for a wave 5 coming deeper in here. And it kind of makes sense to me, because, you know, if I just go back to the monthly chart here, just to get the bigger picture in there and cut out some of the noise, this is, you know, what I always had here, of it coming down into into the $65 mark area here to finish this off here. It's just that it was possible to count it down as being finished to that point, but we never really got the support on 90 that we're looking for. And then the pattern itself, you know, I did my best with it, but it's just becoming weaker and weaker and weaker, you know. So, but trending still down as well on the monthly for this as well. I mean, of course, indicators lag, but still, you know, you've got to swim with the tide. Yeah, look, possibly moving down here further before we see any further upside at this stage. So yes, I will leave that at that. And gas. So yes, well, we've just been looking at it in a triangle pattern, be that right or be it wrong, and we just thought that, well, I just thought that we would just continue to label it and observe it, and everything seems to be going according to plan. Last time we spoke, we were looking for the top up here, and then we were looking for an ABC pattern here for this D wave to come back. So that's kind of taking shape, isn't it? It's you know, they're going to get smaller because it's a triangle pattern, but basically the A wave down here, the B wave up here somewhere, and then the C wave coming down for the D wave here. So this is kind of where we are at this point. So we've got the A wave up here, then the B wave, then ABC for the C wave, and ABC for the D wave, and ABC for the E wave, and then we'll drop down. It will probably do some weird looking stuff towards the end or something, but we won't be too far out on it. Can it move up from here? Should we be long? Well, if you put your trading hat on, then unless I've got this wrong in some way, could I have this as an ABC for the B wave there and down for the C wave there for the B wave, and look at this as an ABC? Possibly. Just let me cruise in on that. That's, well, from that top to there, we're at the 61.8%. So, you know, the 50 and the 60% retracement levels for triangles, I mean, sometimes they work perfectly, and sometimes, you know, you got to be working with an 80% retracement. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. But that's kind of where we are at the moment then. So yeah, would I go long? Should we go long? I mean, the thing is we're gaining support here. I mean, normally what I would be doing is I'll take this top level here and I'll go long above that, and then I'll drop it down to this level, and then I'll drop it down to the next one to go long, you know. So I think you could do that. I think it's probably a mistake, but I wouldn't want to put my head in the ground and miss anything as a trader, because this is a trade setup here based on that number there. So like I said, you could drop it down to this one, but I don't want to get too close to the market because I can't manage it for everybody at this point. But if that top gets taken out, then you could do a little tiny small trade that wouldn't bother you or anything, you know what I mean? It'll just be like buying me a beer or something, you know, it wouldn't be a big deal. So yeah, but don't leave this in here too long. All that can do here is just have this move here and then go up from that point. Don't hold that till we get over to the next structure over here for that. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's sort of where we are. I'll still stay that we're corrective, and I think they're in a wave 4. And the other reason I thought they were in a wave 4 too is if I go back to another charting program here, was it? No, it wasn't that one. Let me just go to the commodities section in here somewhere. Commodities. This one, was it? Yeah, this UNG one here. Because I was looking at this here and I was thinking that this little leg in here as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So that makes a nice leg here, doesn't it, you know? As a third wave here. Now this was also a little bit dodgy in here, but I think that we have to go at least with 1, 2, 3, 4, and then down for 5 when it finishes mucking around here, you know. So we'll have that leg down here and then up from that point. So I think that's the pattern that we're looking for here. And this has got overlapping wave structures, so it's, you know, if you don't know what it is, well then it's likely to be a wave 4, as they say. So yeah, I think that's sort of, I think we're okay looking at that as a wave 4, you know. So looking at this as a wave 4 here, and looking at this as a wave 3 over here, so a 5 wave structure down, unfinished. So that would still leave the B wave over here for this, by the way. So that might give us our opportunity down here for that further. So I can just move this over to here and move this wave 5 over to here. Need to make that a little bit bigger, I think. It's a bit. And oh well, we'll have a wave 3 over there, but I'll just grab this and put this here just for reference. So that's kind of where I think that we're at with that. I'll leave those. Yeah, so yeah, the triangle's starting to come along quite nicely, I think. If you can see that it can be counted differently, then please let me know. So yeah, in our new website, which is coming along quite nicely, we'll have a social app in that, so you'll be able to have private chats to people, and you can have group chats, and you can chat to me and with each other, and upload charts and videos and those sorts of things. And there's a commodity section in that chat module, so that might be helpful. Yeah, and hopefully in December sometime we'll do that migration over to the new website, and we'll be doing stock trades in there, and we've got a few portfolios in there that with portfolio analytics and a few things, but yeah, so it should be a nice next step anyway. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.